You've likely heard the phrase, either the sky ate it or the earth swallowed it. Surprisingly, there's a real place on Earth where people believe this quite literally happens. This mysterious location lies in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, stretching between the U.S. state of Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. Since these 3 points form a triangle, the area is famously known as the Bermuda Triangle. However, due to the number of strange incidents reported there, it's also been given other names. The Devil's Triangle and the Lingo of the Lost, for example. So how did talk of this mysterious place even begin? Back in the 1950s, it was barely mentioned in the American media. But everything changed when author Vincent Gaddis wrote an article for Argosy magazine. In it, he described a triangular region near Florida marked by bizarre and unexplained occurrences. He titled the article, "The Deadly Bermuda Triangle." That piece captured public imagination, and the name stuck. From then on, people simply referred to it as the Bermuda Triangle. One of the most disturbing things about the Bermuda Triangle is what happens to technology within it. As soon as someone enters the area, radios and compasses tend to malfunction. Electronic instruments begin to give erratic readings. Even more alarming, ships and aircraft have disappeared there without a trace. People have gone missing, and not even a single piece of wreckage was ever found. These strange disappearances gave rise to countless theories. Some believed in a sea monster lurking in the deep. Others suggested it was the work of aliens. Some went so far as to connect the area to the secretive Illuminati. But none of these ideas have ever been confirmed. In fact, if you look it up, you'll find that very few topics have inspired as many books, films, and documentaries as the Bermuda Triangle. Let's go back in time to 1888, when a ship named Ellen Austin was on its way from England to New York. A few days into the journey, the ship's captain, Captain Griffin, decided to take a shortcut to save time, a route that led directly through the Bermuda Triangle. As the ship entered the area, the captain spotted a smaller vessel moving in a strange, aimless pattern in the distance. Captain Griffin tried to establish communication, but the mysterious boat didn't respond. Initially, everyone on board was frightened. Eventually, the captain sent a team over to investigate. What they found stunned them. The entire boat was completely empty. No captain, no crew, no passengers. Yet, everything else on the boat was intact and undamaged. They decided to tow the ghost ship back to New York so that authorities could investigate any possible illegal activity. But while en route, a violent storm struck. After the storm passed, the empty boat resurfaced, but the people who had been towing it were gone, vanished, without any damage to the boat itself. Shocked and disturbed, the remaining crew abandoned the boat and continued on to New York. The next day, this eerie tale made headlines around the world. Then there's the case of another vessel, the Mary Celeste. On November 7, 1872, it departed from New York en route to Italy, with a large number of passengers on board. But as the ship neared the Bermuda Triangle, it vanished without warning. Search efforts turned up nothing, until nearly a month later, on December 4, 1872, when the ship was found. On board, everything looked untouched. Plates of food were still on the table, but just like before, the captain, the crew, and the passengers were missing. To this day, no one knows where they went or what truly happened. Then came December 5, 1945. A squad of 5 fighter jets took off from Florida for a navigation and combat training mission. This squadron was known as Flight 19. It consisted of trainee pilots, led by a senior lieutenant named Charles. The plan was simple. They would take off from Florida, drop bombs at a location called Chicken Drop, then head to Grand Bahama, and finally return to their base in Florida. At the time of departure, the weather was clear, but about 2 hours into the mission, the weather suddenly turned stormy. Lieutenant Charles decided not to continue with the exercise and instead head back. When he checked his compass, it wasn't functioning. Even his backup compass failed. He contacted his team and discovered that none of their compasses were working either. When the ground team attempted to track them, their final radio message said, "Something is burning here at a height of 100 feet. After that, they vanished completely." Even in Christopher Columbus's journal, it's written that when he departed Europe and entered the region we now call the Bermuda Triangle, his compass malfunctioned and he lost direction. Columbus kept a travel diary, and in the year 1492, he recorded that his compass wasn't working and that he saw a light falling from the sky, like a candle burning down. Then there's Bruce Jernan, the only man known to have flown through the Bermuda Triangle and come back. Bruce used to regularly fly between the Bahamas and Florida. Normally, the flight would take about 1.5 hours. But on one particular flight, he was cruising at 10,000 feet over the Bermuda Triangle. The skies were completely clear, no rain, no thunderstorms. Yet somehow, Bruce reached Florida in just 45 minutes, which, based on the aircraft specs, was physically impossible. The distance he traveled was 250 miles, and the plane's maximum speed was 180 miles per hour. Under normal conditions, he should have taken 90 minutes, yet he made it in half that time. Even more bizarre, when he checked the fuel, it was almost untouched. It hadn't even gone down significantly. He later wrote a book about this mysterious experience. The stories I'm sharing with you, they are just a few among the many strange tales about the Bermuda Triangle. Stories that have been turned into books, films, and documentaries. Why so many? Because people are drawn to mystery. They enjoy forming emotional bonds with stories of the unknown. Conspiracy theories are more entertaining than hard facts. Actual truth tends to feel boring, almost like studying. But mystery sells. Stories that claim ancient civilizations exist under the Bermuda Triangle, or that we'll find aliens hidden beneath the ocean there. Those kinds of tales have sold in the millions. Try searching online, and you'll find countless movies about the Bermuda Triangle. So many, you might get tired watching them all. And if you search for books, you'll discover a flood of titles, with themes ranging from alien abduction to the Illuminati. Most of these are works of imagination, created by taking bits and pieces of centuries-old events, often unverifiable, and spinning them into captivating stories. And we, as humans, tend to believe them. While I've been recounting these events, you might have wondered, if this place is so strange and dangerous, why don't we hear much about it anymore? That's a fair question. Today, if someone wants to go to Florida, they still use planes or ships, many of which pass right through the Bermuda Triangle. In fact, this area is now one of the busiest travel zones in the world. And with our advanced modern technology, we're far better equipped to explain and investigate mysterious events. Yet, there are still many unsolved cases. But overall, we've come a long way in understanding things. Even so, the Bermuda Triangle remains a popular story-selling machine. But if you actually search on Google, you'll find that the Bermuda Triangle doesn't even rank among the top 10 most dangerous places on Earth. No country officially marks or acknowledges the Bermuda Triangle on their maps. Even the United States doesn't recognize it as a real geographical area. According to Wikipedia, the Bermuda Triangle is classified as an urban legend, a story told so many times it feels true, but in reality, it's not. Lloyd's List is a global maritime publication that keeps records of ships across the world. It maintains detailed data on maritime casualties, including how many ships go missing each year. According to their data, 1.8% of vessels worldwide experience casualties due to various causes. Some of these causes are known, some remain unexplained, and a few ships simply vanish without a trace. Out of 8,634 ships that have entered the Bermuda Triangle, Only 2 casualties have been recorded. When compared to maritime casualties elsewhere in the world, this number is relatively low. Yet, despite the data, the Bermuda Triangle remains famous worldwide. The reason? Its strong presence in stories, books, documentaries, films, and tourism, all of which drive a powerful economy. According to a report by La Tribuna, 75 ships and aircraft have vanished within the Bermuda Triangle. If you look at the global average, a similar number of accidents have occurred in other parts of the world as well. Interestingly, there's another triangle-shaped area near Japan that shares many similarities with the Bermuda Triangle. It's called the Dragon's Triangle. Back in 1945, communication with an A6M0 aircraft was lost in this region. The pilot's final transmission was eerie. Something is happening in the sky. The sky is opening up. Since that moment, the aircraft has never been found, and its fate remains unknown to this day. Likewise, in 1980, a massive British vessel named Derbyshire, the largest British ship at the time, vanished without a trace in the Dragon Triangle. To this day, its whereabouts remain a mystery. The incidents in the Dragon Triangle are almost identical to those in the Bermuda Triangle. But even so, the Bermuda Triangle receives far more global attention. Why? Because Hollywood has produced far more movies about the Bermuda Triangle than the Dragon Triangle. And the number of books published about the Bermuda Triangle greatly outnumbers those about its Japanese counterpart. This is why the Bermuda Triangle is better known around the world. Both the Bermuda Triangle and the Dragon Triangle lie along the same latitude, which has led to conspiracy theories about a connection. However, as of now, none of this can be verified. We still don't know whether the tale told by the captain of the Ellen Austin is true or not, or what really happened on the Mary Celeste, where the lifeboat was missing, and there were even accusations of insurance fraud against the ship. Some believe an emergency evacuation occurred, perhaps to escape an imminent threat, but a disaster may have struck during that very attempt. One recurring theme in almost all such cases is this: the compass stops working. Normally, when you use a compass to find north, it doesn't point to the Earth's geographic North Pole. Instead, it aligns with the magnetic North Pole. Earth operates on a 2-pole system. 1. Magnetic north, which the compass detects. 2. 3. Geographic north, also called true north, based on the planet's axis of rotation. 4. But there are certain rare places on Earth where the compass actually does point directly toward true north. These zones fall along something called the agonic line. Interestingly, for many years, the center of the agonic line passed right through the Bermuda Triangle. This caused compasses in the region to give inaccurate readings, leading to navigational errors and confusion. In the case of Flight 19, the investigation concluded it was a case of human error, triggered by compass failure, resulting in pilots losing their bearings and running out of fuel. Today, however, we have modern technology like GPS, radar, and sonar, which is why we rarely hear about such incidents in the region anymore. There's also a methane hydrate field in the Bermuda Triangle. When methane escapes and reacts with water, it can form massive gas bubbles. These bubbles can potentially destabilize a ship, causing it to sink rapidly without warning. In 2016, scientists from the University of Colorado analyzed satellite images of the Bermuda Triangle. They discovered hexagon-shaped cloud formations, which are rarely seen in nature. These hexagonal clouds behave like air balls, with wind speeds up to 175 miles per hour. Such sudden and intense pressure could cause a complete aircraft failure. Dr. Carl, a scientist from Sydney University, conducted a thorough analysis of the Bermuda Triangle over many years. His conclusion: most accidents were likely due to human error, harsh weather, and unpredictable natural conditions. Because so many people travel through the area, stories continue to surface, adding to the mystery.